Hi everyone, welcome back to another episode of the VFR400 build. So today I'm going to be doing quite a few bits. I'm going to try and get quite a few parts on the bike. First thing I'm going to work on is the yokes. Maybe we can get some radiators on and maybe continue working on the rear shock, which I've decided I'm going to rebuild, and also I need to polish it up. You saw how I cleaned it up in the last video. I've got some metal polish. Shout out for those who recommended getting the auto sol, so I just used a little bit today and I'm really impressed with it. So I'm cleaning up a couple of bits as well. I'm going to show you guys what I've done so far. All right, so this is what I'm working so far. I've been degreasing and cleaning. These are parts for the yoke. As you can see, cleaned them really nicely. They were all greasy and on all that. Cleaned them up. Also, this is the horn as well, which I cleaned up. It basically was like this, and I cleaned up the front with the grinding wheels on the Dremel, and I've just rubbed some polish on that by hand as well, and just tied it up a bit so it looks a lot better. I'm going to spray this little black tab as well, and then we can put this back onto the frame as well. That's the one. I'll show you guys the yokes as well. So you guys might remember that I painted these yokes the other day. They came out really good. So these are going to go on. I've already cleaned all these parts up as well. Obviously I'm going to re-grease them all up now. I've got the bearings as well to grease up. I'll show you the bearings here, which I will be reusing. All these parts have been cleaned up. Bearings are all clean and ready to go. So the trusty Haynes manual shows you the order of how to put things back, so make sure I get it right. So I've checked that. I've got all my parts here ready to go, and I'm going to grease up these bearings and these collars and start putting everything back together. So I'll just leave this finger tight until I put the forks in, then we can tighten this up to the torque specification. New spark plugs. I'm going to change them out now, so it'll be easier to do it now than when I start assembling the bike. Alright guys, so I've cleaned up the rear mud guard. I just gave it a wash basically, and I've put this frame back. This frame's been painted at some point. I'm not going to paint it again. There's a few bits here you can see where maybe water got in. Some very minor surface rust. What I'm actually going to do is get some silver, probably hammerite converter or whatever, and just get a little brush and just touch inside those little areas, because I can't really get any sandpaper in there anyway, and I don't have a sandblaster, so there's not really much I can do. It's just a few little spots. As I said, I will treat those little areas with a small little brush. So I'm going to put this together. First thing is to bolt this to here. I don't have the washers. There should be a washer on here, but I do have a box of washers. I'm sure I will find one that fits and that can do the job. Now this one probably looks about the right size. I reckon that will do it. I think this one's a bit too big, the head is too big. And I do have these new bolts as well, so hopefully that should do the job. Alright, there we go. So bolted that one in, bolted that one in. Now we're ready to bolt it onto the frame. Also, I did clean up these bolts as well, these original bolts, so I cleaned them all up. So yeah, let's install these. Guys, quick update. So I've been cleaning some parts. I cleaned up these bracket real good, which was really in a mess. So it's a dramatic improvement. I cleaned up these leads as well, give them all a wipe down, and I'm going to install these back on now. So I've been working on this fan shroud. This is metal, which you can see I've done a lot of work. I used a little Dremel with a drum sander on it, which was really good, very aggressive to get a lot of this stuff off. It's the best I could do. I've just given it a clean, but it was in really bad condition. So what I've got though is I've got some Hammerite paint, black direct to rust paint. So I'm going to use that to paint this in black, and then I can reassemble the fan. So I've also cleaned up the fan as well, giving it a good clean. Cleaned up this section as well, and I'm going to clean up the metal here, try and tidy up this metal, make it look a bit better. But I'm also going to paint this. So this is the paint that I'm going to be using, Hammerite direct to rust metal paint. It's satin black, no need to prime or undercoat, quick drying. So you can see used for railings and stuff for outdoors. So this I think should do the job, make this look a lot better. So guys, I polished up a couple of parts. These are the rear passenger hanger. This is one side that's been polished, and this is the other side that hasn't. You can see the difference. Polished these bits up. I also cleaned up these bits as well. So there's a spring, there's a little ball bearing there as well. That's the mechanism that's in here. There's also a little pin clip as well. I've got some new ones, lots of new ones, so I'm going to replace that. So I'm going to rebuild this one, and then I can jump onto the next one another time. That's the rebuilt part. It's looking good. Mechanisms all working. Clicks nice and smooth. And it's all cleaned out. So this one's ready to go back on. Right, so that's our spring, looking good. Painted in red enamel paint, high temperature as well again. Also I've rebuilt the fan, as you can see now. So we've got that fan in here. I did test it before, so it does work. So we've got a brand new radiator, we've got a new and improved tidy fan. So I'm going to put this bit on, and let's see what it looks like. Alright guys, so that is it for today. I'm going to stop here. There's some good progress on the bike today. So we got the rear subframe on and the mudguard. I actually put the battery in as well as the starter relay that's in. That's all wired in and run down to the starter motor. We got the 2 radiators in. We got the radiator fan on the back of that refurbished. Also start putting some of these hoses in, clamp them in, as you can see. We've got the yokes on as well. This part here I'm not going to connect for now because I want to take this off. As you can see the state of the corrosion here, so I want to take this out and have a look at it. I think this is probably the water pump probably in here, so I want to take that out and have a look at it, clean it out, see if it needs replacing or not. Then we can connect this hose here. Same thing on the other side as well. I'm also waiting for the gaskets for these, and then I can connect to this as well. We've got a new switch, thermostat switch as well. I've got a new one, so I'll be putting that on there as well. And then I think we're probably ready to start getting the wiring harness in and start connecting up some of these electrical connections. I've also started to polish the strut as well, as you can see. I haven't finished with it yet, but I have made a start. I'm just trying to get it all prepared so I can put it back on the bike. So that is it for today guys. Hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I got a lot of progress done today. It was a fun day and the bike is taking shape. Please let me know what you think of this video. Also please like and subscribe to the channel for more videos like this. All right guys, so I shall see you on the next one. Thank you for watching.